Our third news is Richard Hughes gets Liverpool in pole position for sensational £80 million forward. Liverpool signed £450 million worth of talent in last summer's transfer window. It was a landmark campaign, overseen by the Reds sporting director Richard Hughes. Having been brought to the club as part of the post-Jurgen Klopp era, Hughes arrived with big reputation. His time at Bournemouth was characterized by several superb signings. The likes of Milos Kerkez, Ilya Zabarnyi and Antoine Semenyo found their way to the south coast with Hughes negotiating their arrivals. And the sporting director was back in form over the summer for Liverpool, masterminding British record deals for Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak as well as completing other major deals. The 21-year-old Hungarian left-back came on board for a fee of around £40 million, with Hughes in a prime position to get the deal done with his former club. And now he's been once again tipped to repeat the trick when it comes to another cherry star. Semenyo, 25, has been the outstanding player in the Premier League this season, scoring 6 times in 7 matches for Andoni Iraola's side. The former Bristol City winger arrived at the Vitality Stadium back in 2023 for around £10 million, a transfer masterclass from Hughes, Liverpool in driving seat for Semenyo. Now the Ghana international looks set to move for massive money and Liverpool will be right there for his signature. Capable of playing on the left wing or right wing, Semenyo is a versatile threat who would no doubt augment Arne Slot's current attacking options. He's recently signed a new deal with Bournemouth, leading to speculation that he will be soon leaving for a blockbuster fee. Hughes' connections can aid bid for Semenyo. And according to a report in Football Insider, the Premier League champions are in pole position to land Semenyo owing to Hughes' connections on the Bournemouth board. Liverpool, we know their links with Bournemouth through Richard Hughes, the sporting director, that might give them a big advantage over the other interested clubs, a report reads. Manchester United showed some interest in Semenyo in the summer, and Tottenham also showed a bit of an interest as well. I'm sure Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal would all consider Semenyo, and Bournemouth are bracing themselves for interest in him. I don't see a move happening in January just due to the price tag that would it take to get him out of Bournemouth. Semenyo rated at £80 million. There's no doubt that all the Premier League big boys would come knocking for Semenyo if he was made available. It was reckoned he spoke with both Spurs and Man United last summer, before opting to extend his stay with the Cherries. Recent reports suggest it could take around £80 million to sign Semenyo next summer. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, match updates, and breaking stories. Our second news is football finance expert names absolutely achievable price at which Liverpool could sign Semenyo. Liverpool are among a clutch of Premier League clubs who've been linked with Antoine Semenyo after the Bournemouth forward's sensational start to the season. Last week, Alex Crook of TalkSport claimed that the Reds sporting director Richard Hughes is a big admirer of the 25-year-old, who he actually signed for the Cherries when he held a similar job title at the Vitality Stadium in 2023. Transfer insider Pete O'Rourke subsequently said that the pre-existing relationship between the pair could hand the Merseysiders a big advantage in the race to sign the Ghana international, for whom Andoni Iraola's side are expecting serious offers next summer. Liverpool may need to pay £75 million if they're to land Semenyo. Liverpool have now been quoted an achievable price point at which they might be able to land Semenyo from Bournemouth in 2026. Speaking to Football Insider, Stefan Borson, former financial advisor to Manchester City, outlined, I think it's clear that Semenyo is going to be one of the targets for the summer that everybody's going to be interested in. I think £75 million feels like the absolutely achievable level for a player that's got the demand that he's got and the quality that he seems to be demonstrating week in, week out. Would Semenyo be worth £75 million of Liverpool's transfer budget? That figure matches the valuation that Crook mentioned in his report for TalkSport last week, and it's not surprising to hear that Bournemouth would probably demand a fee in that ballpark for a man whose Premier League goal tally of 6 this season is second only to Erling Haaland. His return of 11 top-flight goals last term indicates that his form in recent weeks isn't completely out of the blue, although he's already well on track to smash through his 2024-25 numbers and potentially emulate the likes of Mo Salah and Alexander Isak by entering 20-goal territory for the campaign. A proven scorer in the English top tier who'll turn 26 in January, it's no wonder that Semenyo's market value is so high, and even a lucrative offer might be turned down by the Cherries mid-season, such is the difference that the winger is making at the Vitality Stadium. Liverpool spent the best part of £200 million on Isak and Hugo Ekitike over the summer, with that duo netting 27 and 22 goals respectively in all competitions in 2024-25. If the Gunner forward gets to 20 or more this term, then £75 million would duly seem a reasonable price for Bournemouth to demand. If Arne Slot believes that the 25-year-old would be up to the task of replacing Mo Salah in the long term at Anfield, such an outlay would appear to be justified from the reigning Premier League champions. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, match updates, and breaking stories. Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Liverpool have now made dramatic January transfer decision regarding world-class player. Liverpool have reportedly made a significant transfer U-turn regarding the future of a world-class Reds player ahead of the January window. It remains to be seen if the Premier League champions decide to make new signings midway through the season, but what about those who could potentially be sold? Joe Gomez has been linked with a January exit in the past, but increasingly looks like a key squad figure amid injury problems in defense, while Federico Chiesa has also been backed to possibly move on. According to Football Insider, though, Liverpool have now made a U-turn with the latter, deciding that he will stay put beyond the next window. This is due to becoming a bigger part of Arne Slot's plans at Anfield, scoring twice in the Premier League and generally impressing more than he did last term. The right decision for Liverpool to keep Chiesa? Selling Chiesa in the middle of the season would be a strange decision by Liverpool, not least because Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo are both struggling to find top form in the early months of the campaign. The Italian may not be a regular starter for the Reds, but he has proven to be an effective substitute of late, including scoring a huge late goal in the 4-2 win at home to Bournemouth on the opening weekend of the season. Chiesa has the pedigree to be a real asset for Liverpool, assuming he can stay fit more than he did in 2024-25, with Alessandro Pierini lauding him during his star showing at Euro 2020, in which he tasted glory with Italy. He's world-class. He has all the ability and desire of a great player. If he improves, then he'll be even better than his father, Enrico. I have loads of respect for Enrico and all he has done to help Federico come on as a player until now. Granted, Liverpool could still do with more consistency from Chiesa, and there is no guarantee that he will remain at the club beyond next summer, but there are very few positives, if any, in allowing him to depart in January. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, match updates, and breaking stories. Our last news is after Justin Osagie, Chelsea sign another Nigerian defender represented by Nguma's brother. Premier League club Chelsea have confirmed the signing of promising Nigerian right-back Riley Ebho, according to a statement on the club's official website. Ebho becomes the second Nigerian defender to join the Blues following the close of the summer transfer window, joining former Celtic and Peterborough United centre-back Justin Osagie. The 16-year-old Ebho has joined Chelsea as a first-year scholar, while Osagie, 20, has signed a professional contract with the club. Under Premier League regulations, all players in their U17 year begin the season on a scholarship agreement before they are eligible to sign their first professional deal on or after their 17th birthday. Both Ebho and Osagie are products of the West Ham United Academy and will continue their development at Cobham. Ebho, who has already featured in 9 U18 Premier League appearances for the Hammers in his final schoolboy season, will now be coached by Nigerian tactician Hassan Suleiman at Chelsea U18s. Notably, Ebho is represented by the elder brother of Liverpool wonder kid Rio Nguma, who previously played for Chelsea before a high-profile move to Anfield last year. The deal taking him to Chelsea was brokered by Optima Talent Group. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, match updates, and breaking stories. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone. Our fifth news is Nico Schlotterbeck must be Liverpool's top transfer target after what he did for Germany last night. Nico Schlotterbeck received praise aplenty for his latest display in Germany's win over Northern Ireland on Monday. His reception certainly starkly contrasted with that of Liverpool playmaker Florian Wirtz, as Julian Nagelsmann's men secured a clean sheet in their World Cup qualifier. It's judging Schlotterbeck on one aspect of his game, but he does sound awfully similar to Virgil van Dijk. German media, indeed, were quite keen to highlight the Borussia Dortmund centre-back's marvellous passing range and precise diagonals. Defensively, he was always on the ball. His shot from around 23 meters whizzed 2 meters over the crossbar. He had to be briefly treated when Reed found him with a bare foot, 28 foot. He was strong in the build-up play with precise diagonal balls. His left foot was missed during his injury absence, not only at Dortmund but also by the national team. Schlotterbeck can play the ball precisely from defense to attack, as he did against Northern Ireland. Perhaps for this reason, he was tackled even more vigorously by the Northern Irish than the others, provoking the first yellow card of the game when Jamie Reid put his studs on his shin. He took on every wrestling challenge in the Greco-Northern Irish style. Sport.de played many long balls to Adeyemi and repeatedly managed to expose gaps in the opposition's defense with diagonal balls. He performed well in defense for long stretches. After the break, he occasionally seemed a bit light-handed during Northern Ireland's pressing phase. Regardless of his most appealing trait, we know for a fact that the 25-year-old is on Liverpool's radar. The Merseysiders didn't end up pushing for Schlotterbeck in the summer just gone, instead preferring to prioritise Mark Guéhi. Priorities at that time, of course, were different, with Ibrahima Konate entering a year left on his contract. Just how long Liverpool can afford to put off signing the elite German international, however, remains to be seen. Virgil van Dijk, of course, remains ever imperious in the back line for Arne Slot's men. We're unlikely to see a spiral in performance levels much before he turns 36, if even then. That said, we do expect the recruitment team will be planning for the statistical likelihood of a decline in the coming years. Indeed, if reports were to be believed, Nico Schlotterbeck was under serious consideration at Anfield in the event his Dutch counterpart didn't sign a contract extension, and why not? The Bundesliga centre-back is exceptional on the ball, ranking in the 99th and 90th percentiles respectively for progressive passes and progressive carries, FBref. He's not quite yet up to the standard of Virgil van Dijk or Ibrahima Konate's aerial dominance, but perhaps that could be compensated for with his defensive partner. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news. Our fourth news is Liverpool won't sell top-level ace in January despite making 0 PL starts so far this season. One Liverpool player who'd been heavily linked with an exit from the club during the summer now appears to have firmly won over the Anfield hierarchy, having made only 14 appearances in a personally disappointing first season with the Reds. There were abundant reports of Serie A interest in Federico Chiesa earlier this year, and for a while it seemed quite likely that the Italian forward would return to his homeland. However, despite being yet to start a Premier League match this term, the 27-year-old has been involved a bit more frequently, featuring in 6 games thus far and coming off the bench to score against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Transfermarkt. Chiesa set to stay at Liverpool beyond January. According to Football Insider, the Italy international is set to remain at Liverpool for the foreseeable future, with a January exit now deemed highly unlikely. It was originally expected that he would leave Anfield in the winter, but having made an impact with the minutes he's been handed so far this season, he now appears to have earned the trust of Arne Slot, who added him to the Reds' Champions League squad after the ACL injury to Giovanni Leone. Does Chiesa deserve more game time at Liverpool? Despite still being unable to carve out a starting berth on Merseyside, Chiesa is one of the most popular players among the LFC fan base, and among the Champions squad, only Hugo Ekitike and Mo Salah have more goal contributions than him so far in 2025-26, Transfermarkt. The 27-year-old has made the most of the game time which has been given to him, and ITV commentator Seb Hutchinson has rightly described him as a top-level talent. Danny Murphy has even called for Schlott to start the Italian on the left flank instead of the underwhelming Cody Gakpo, and while both players have 2 goals and assists each at this stage of the campaign, Chiesa has accrued that tally in just 20% of the game time that the Dutchman has had. Schlott still doesn't seem to trust Liverpool's number 14 to start in the top flight or Champions League, but if the former Juventus man continues to make an impact off the bench, the case for starting him might become impossible to ignore. What does now appear certain is that he's beyond the stage of fighting for his Anfield future, and while some of his teammates might leave the club in January, the Italian will surely be staying put for the remainder of this season at least. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, match updates, and breaking stories.